Hi, it's me back reporting from the 50-yard line. Probably not, I think it's probably more over there, but you know what I'm saying. It sounds better than reporting from the 34-yard line. But I'm coming back at you with a topic from the 34-yard line on a beautiful, fall, I guess, even though it feels like spring day, which is like 45 degrees. I just said in the previous video that it was just nights ago, like in the single digits, and now it's 45, and it's gonna get cold again into the teens next week. So enjoy this while it lasts. I didn't think we'd feel above freezing temperatures until March, so this is kind of a nice treat. Although all this stuff that's melting now is just gonna freeze tonight. So I'm coming at you with another topic here, which is kind of a cool topic and obviously potentially controversial, which is what I think death is, or what I think / hope, maybe that's what the topic is, what I think / hope death is, or what comes after death. Now, I was a horrible student, so like in halfway through second grade, my folks thought, well, what can we do, what can we do for our son? This is before they had the lovely family divorce. So they're like, well, what can we do to help our our child excel in indoctrination center? And so they sent me to like a Lutheran school. So I did like half of second grade through 6th grade at this Lutheran school, which, if someone doesn't want to do home or schoolwork, they're just not going to do it anywhere, regardless of where the hell they're sent, So I just but anyway, as a result, being sent to this Lutheran school at an impressionable young age, I kind of, obviously when you're a kid and adults say things are this or that, you kind of go, well, why would they say they are if they're not? So you kind of believe them, and you're like, okay, well, this is how it is. And I didn't really care too much, but I accepted all the kind of the bullshit of religion and all this and that. And they made us go to like, I think Wednesday mornings or something as a part of school. We went to church. We didn't go to church on Sunday or anything like that. They weren't, my parents weren't religious or anything. It was just like, they were trying to figure out what the best school environment would be for me, or something like that. Maybe they thought a cripple would be more welcome in a Lutheran school, when not really. But I digress, as people say. But long story short, I kind of bought the bullshit for a while, and then I got out of that school after 6th grade, and then I think very early, probably, I don't know, 14, 15, 16, I mean, it's a gradual progression. It was just like the more the smarter you are and the more you think and stuff like that, it's kind of like, this whole religious shit just sounds like a bunch of bullshit. Long story short, basically nearly 38 years of life here, I've come to the conclusion, well, I came to this conclusion before 30, before now, like several years ago. I don't even know when, I came to the conclusion that I'm at right now regarding death, which is, my opinion, of course not being religious at all, I would say, based on all the data that I have at my disposal at this point, that, and I hope to Santa, that what I think happens after death is just nothing. I hope that I hope and don't pray that when you die it just turns to eternal black. Kind of like, I ask religious people, I'm like, well, can you remember, the virtual eternity before you existed? Like, you can't really remember anything. Like, that's something I've always wanted to ask, like a religious person, is and maybe if one is watching, you can answer in the comments. Like in your myth of religion and shit, like what, like people, they say that we have souls, which I don't believe in. Like, where does what happens, like, when is the soul, like in their mythology, when is the soul made? Like, is it made when the body's made, or is the soul just playing cricket and polo for the, for eternity before the body is made? And then like, how does a soul pick a body? I mean, I don't know if all this shit is taught in, your little propaganda book or whatever, but it's stuff that I'd like to ask like a religious person, like all this kind of stuff. Like, so does like the soul in your mythology, does your soul exist before it gets paired up with a body? And how do you choose? Does God choose, does he work 24/7 and, like aligning these souls to these bodies and shit? Like, you get the cripple body, you get the body with no legs and arms, ha ha ha. I feel, it's fucking April 1st, I feel grumpy today. You get the body that's fucking gunned down in Gaza when you're 6. So how are in your mythology, if someone religious is watching, or even if someone's just who knows about the mythology, how does a soul get paired up with a body? But anyway, on to continuing the topic. That's kind of what I hope and don't pray death is, or afterlife or whatever. So obviously, if I ever talk about being suicidal, I know that it's considered like you go to hell if you kill yourself or whatever. And I'm not saying I'm gonna kill myself, my life will probably improve greatly next week. So, I won't have to worry about that. But in seriousness, as a suicidal person, that's what, if I consider, or, when I consider or I think about suicide, that's what I'm hopefully, and there's really no, evidence to the contrary, or at least that I've been presented, that would suggest anything different than simply just going to black for lovely, lovely ever. I mean, we're just talking for like ever. That's a long time to just be just nothing. I mean, just imagine no fucking taxes, no health insurance, no anything, forever. And to me, like death, or at least what I hope death is, which is I hope it's just eternal nothing, is just much more agreeable of an idea than this life on this prison planet, So there you go. That's what I think and hope death is at this point in my life. And like I say, it's been that way for probably 10 years or more. That's kind of the position I've held on the topic for probably the last 10 years or more. And I was worried when my dad got cancer that I'd all of a sudden turn into one of these fucking fruitcakes, like born again Christian or something. But luckily, that didn't happen. So you can thank your lucky stars for that. But feel free to leave a comment. What do you think death is? Do you think death is this ridiculous idea of going up into heaven floating on a cloud for eternity, playing fucking Xbox One for the rest of eternity? I mean, shit, for anyone to believe that, and like people are gonna see their loved ones and everything's just gonna be perfect, I just can't see how anyone can believe that shit. I mean, it's clearly too good to be true, kind of an idea, the idea of heaven and everything that's, all the whole idea of heaven and all just the beauty and wonder and just greatness that comes with that myth of just afterlife perfection. To me, obviously, I see it for what it is controlling people while they're here, which is the only place there is, and what's so ironic is it's such a great sham. It's like, okay, they know, being the controllers, that there's nothing after life, or at least maybe not for us, and but we can control them here by telling them there's something greater if they put up with all this bullshit and give money to churches. And that's a whole other topic I might have to do. Why do churches need money? I mean, can't God exempt churches from the financial burden of money? And while he's at it, can he get all of us off the dole? But I think that's its own separate topic that I'm going to do regarding the whole money, and giving to the church and all this shit. That's a whole, like money, and 10 people pay 10% of their income to church, and Oh my God. So that's a whole topic, a whole separate topic in itself. But there you go. I mean, um, that's what I think death is, think and hope death is. And my dad, you know, he's, in my opinion right now, he's ceased to exist. Um, he existed and now he doesn't exist. He exists in a pile of ashes. And I guess if you want to go further, he exists here as a memory, and in you know, many audio and video recordings I have of him, he exists. But just based on just, I don't know, like I say, 37 years of life, that's where I'm at regarding that's where I'm at regarding death at this point. And I really feel for the people who, you know, fear going to hell and all this shit. I had a customer at my last job of 3 years who was like, oh, I'm late for mass. And it's just like, she's like, I don't want to go to hell, you know, for being late to mass. And it's just like, yeah, that's, you know, being religious sounds like such a lovely existence to me. And not really. I mean, that was like that was sarcasm. But again, feel free to leave your comments. Made it through yet another video without a dog incident, so that's what I'm talking about. And god damn it, you know. Oh, I'm gonna miss this 45-degree weather, which may not come back. Well, who knows? Maybe we'll get it in another 2 weeks or whatever. But you know, this would be nice if this could happen every other, like twice a month all winter. You know, just like a thaw. You know, a 45-degree day. Just cut us some slack and give us like a 45-degree day. Twice or 4 times a month, you know, all winter. So thank you very much for watching this topic. Yeah, I'm pretty confident in, of course everyone is, in their particular belief, but like I say, I haven't experienced anything to the contrary. The only thing I've experienced that makes me question things, or my theory about things, is deja vu, man. Deja vu is the only thing I cannot explain, and the only thing that makes my, what's that word? My non-believing, or whatever, I can't think of the word, makes my non-believing mind wonder like, because I'm like more of a proof guy, and you know, I've experienced deja vu myself, where you're doing something and all of a sudden you're walking, you know, everything you're doing is walking into a memory, and it's like, holy shit, you know. And I've had deja vu that lasted like 2 or 3 seconds, and it's like, you don't know what's coming, but when it happens, it's like, oh shit, you know, oh shit, you know. And we're talking, I've had thought deja vu, where I've had thoughts that I've remember having those thoughts before, looking at a specific thing. So in closing, you know, the only thing that I've ever experienced that you know, makes me go, regarding my theory is just deja vu. Like, what's the explanation for that? And I've looked it up online, and it says all kinds of stupid shit, like one eye is seeing it a gazillion second faster than the other eye, or some dumb shit like that. And I've had deja vu that's not only visual but audio, and like I say, deja vu that's just thought, but I had the exact same thought before at the exact same time with the exact same sound or sight, you know. So this whole idea that deja vu is like one eye seeing something quicker than the other, like, yeah, there you go. So so anyway, what's your take on deja vu? What, holy shit, I gotta end. So yeah, what do you think deja vu is, and what do you think death is? So thank you very much for watching, and as always, I will catch you on the next video. Safe, or whatever.